I took my girls swimming. Having just returned from a family holiday, I have some personal stories to tell, but this one is the most upsetting for many reasons. It started when my girls, 4 and 2, wanted to go swimming. Nothing unusual. I take them every day when we're on a family break. My wife got the girls changed, and then I took them to the pool whilst she got ready. Both girls ran through the water spouts, walked into the shallow end, and headed towards the Lay River, which they both love. The lifeguard stopped me to say I could not take the girls around alone, there had to be one adult with each child. The situation. I did not say anything, just let the girls talk, which was nice to see. It is funny how little people interact, and I love the fact that my girls are so sociable. It makes me feel proud of them. I then found myself in a very awkward situation and felt annoyed at the incident on so many different levels. If it had happened again, I still don't know what I could have done differently. The girl's mother, who my children were talking to, came over, gave me an angry look, and said, "Why are you talking to my daughter?" I replied that she had come over to speak with my kids. She then told me that I should not talk to young girls because I was a man and to leave them alone. I explained that I had not said a word to her. She came up to my girls and started talking. I felt very offended by what she had said and was about to argue my point when I saw my wife entering the pool waving. When I turned back, the woman and her child had swum off. I decided to say nothing to my wife. My kids were no the wiser, and we all went around the lazy river. It spoiled my first experience in the pool this year, and I started to wonder what I had done wrong. My feelings. What if I was a widowed dad with 2 girls? How could I cope with this type of situation again? What if I took my kids on holiday? Would I be looked upon as taking them both alone? It made me feel sick even thinking about it. There were a few spas by the side of the pool, and I decided to go and chill out. I then talked to a few guys who all appeared to have the same idea. I decided to talk about my experience, and they were supportive of my situation. I found it hard to shake off my feelings but thought I should get back to the girls. The wave machine was on, so my wife needed my help. Although they both wear armbands, of course, the waves can still make them panic if they are not close to us both. You could not run it. The wave machine went off, and my 4-year-old and I went around the lazy river again. My wife stayed with my 2-year-old in the main pool. When I returned and started heading toward my wife, my stomach turned, and I felt sick again. She was talking to the mother that had a go at me for speaking to her daughter. I decided to hang back, but my wife called me over. "Oh, this is your wife?" I felt very uncomfortable, and my wife, with a puzzled face, said, "Yes," and something hit me in the back, which I could tell was a swimmer not looking where they were going. It was a man who stood up and apologized. It was one of the guys from the spa I was talking to about my situation. He walked over and kissed this woman. Fuck, I felt stupid. How was I going to get out of this one? The guy then realized that I had been speaking about his wife. My wife was the only one now out of the loop. "What is going on?" she demanded. What could I say? If I had told her the truth, she would have kicked off. This would turn ugly quickly. Thankfully the bloke said that his daughter was speaking to our girls earlier. My wife asked if that was true, and of course, it was, so I agreed. I needed to get out of this situation quickly, so I took my 4-year-old around the lazy river again, and the guy came with his daughter. The revelation. I thanked him for his discretion, knowing it could have turned out much worse. He told me not to worry. His wife was abused by her father growing up, which is why she was sensitive. I was speechless. Whilst I thought her actions towards me were wrong, I could understand them. However, should I be tarred with the same brush? What an impossible situation to be in. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. They left the pool about 10 minutes later, and I relaxed a bit more. I then told my wife the whole story. She was very annoyed but promised she would not say anything if we saw them again. We saw them again. Later that evening, we went to the bar for a quiet drink, and just before I got served, I had a tap on my shoulder. The guy from the pool told me the round was on him and his wife. I joked that she now wanted to get me drunk, so what was her next move? He smiled but didn't think he found it funny. I accepted the drinks and went over to say thank you. She smiled and said, "It's okay," and I think those words were her apology, not that she needed to say it. My wife always picks up on my vibe and just said cheers. We then walked away and found a seat. My conclusion: that is pretty much the end of the story. We did see them in passing and exchanged a friendly hello, but not much else. I guess you could say it turned out okay considering the start. It has made me more conscious of our society. My girls are sociable and talk to anyone, so to me, it was a natural scenario. However, not everyone is like me, so I need to think about that in future. What could I have done differently? Pulled my girls away and told them not to speak to this girl because she was alone? Should I have swam away and kept my distance? But if I did, then my girls could have been in danger from the water as neither can swim. I always appreciate your advice. Let me know your thoughts. Have you ever been in this type of situation? What could I have done differently? What would you have done in my situation? Let me know in the comments section, and thank you for taking the time to read my story.